Hey everybody, we're looking at number 7. All of the students in 6th grade either purchased their lunch or brought their lunch from home on Monday. 24% of the students purchased their lunch. 190 students brought their lunch from home. How many students are in the 6th grade? Whenever you have a little bit of complexity to the problem, I'm always going to recommend using one of these tape diagrams. Why? Because it forces you to think more deeply about the numbers. So one of the bars will be talking about the percent. So how about we make that the bottom bar, and let's fill in the percent that's given. I always like to do that first because I think that's just the natural progression of how your brain should be thinking. So they give us this number. Let's box it in and approximate it. 24% would maybe look like that. And then we always want to put a label. What's the label? These are the folks that purchased their lunch. So let's put PL, which stands for purchased lunch. Now, there's going to be a quantity of students that will have purchased their lunch that we have to reread this and decide whether or not that number is given or are they asking for it. All right, now what does that imply about these folks? What does that imply? It implies that these folks are, if they didn't purchase their lunch, then they must have brought their lunch from home. So I'm just going to put brought from home. Now, how would we get that percent, and do we even need it? Let's come back to the idea of whether we even need it. Now, let's look at this number more carefully, this 190. 190 students brought their lunch from home. So that means that that would be this number right here. And let's fill that in. So that's 190 students. Let's see what they're asking for. Read it again carefully. How many students are in 6th grade? So they want the whole or the all of it number. That's not what's given. So since we have this number, we do need to find this percent. And how do we find that? We subtract this number from this number to get that percent. On your paper, we're going to do 100%. Write this down on your paper. 100% minus 24% to get the percent. So there's some renaming involved. We can't take 4 away from nothing, can't take 2 away from nothing. So this becomes a 0. And then for a moment, this will be a 10. But because we need to rename here, this needs to become a 9 so that this can be a 10. 10 minus 4 gives you the 6. 9 minus 2 gives you 7. So it's going to end up being 76% of the students brought their lunch from home. All right, so now since we're looking for the whole, we need to set up a proportion. So when we set up a proportion, we're going to do parts and wholes. Parts and wholes. And what do we have both of? We have both of these, so that's how we know we're going to be working with this percent rather than this one. 76 out of what? It's 76 out of 100. Let's write it as 76 out of 100. And then where does this go? Is it the part or is it the whole? Well, we're looking for the whole. It's going to be the part. We'll put that number right here. And we'll put a W for the whole. Now, we could consider simplifying this. But if you're not in the mood to simplify it and you're lucky enough to have a calculator and you're allowed to use it, then you can go ahead and do 76 times W equals, and the other cross product would be 100 times 190. Now everybody should know what 1 times 190 should be. Wouldn't that be 190? And then you just have to put on the 2 zeros here to your answer. So it becomes that. And to solve this, what's the opposite of multiplying a variable by 76? It would be to divide by 76. Get all this on your piece of paper. And we would simplify this. We can simplify that to equaling 1. And 1 times W is W. So the only thing left you have to do is find this number divided by this number and use a calculator to do it. All right, good luck finishing that up.